Hello everybody. It has been a while, but we are back live today, and today is Phone In Friday. We're gonna get this party started soon, so Phone In Friday, so call me with your questions. Gotta call quick, it's a quick show. So 631-451-1039 if you have any questions. Let's talk. Under a minute here. I'm very casual today. I have my Park City sweatshirt on. It's a Friday kind of day. Here we go. Hello, my friends. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. We were going to cue him some song. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got this. Anthony. All right. Well, hello, friends. I'll say it again. Thank you for tuning in and spending some time with me today. You are listening to the Financial Chick Show, and I am the Financial Chick. Today is the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter, and the last Friday of the month. So do you know what that means? It is the Financial Chick Radio Phone In Friday show. I hope you're all as excited as I am. So boy, let me tell you, the world is freaking going crazy, and it may be just me, but I think the world is spinning a little bit faster too. So call me today, 631-451-1039. Let's talk about what's going on. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. I mean, it certainly can. I mean, when I see all of you at parties or at concerts, or you're just calling in, you know, there's a lot of questions. So I'm sure you have a lot of questions in your mind, and my gosh, there's just so much going on. So let's unpack what we can unpack today, and I want to hear what's on your mind, because I mean, I could talk to you about anything. I mean, I can talk all day about all of this stuff. But so, you know, I really, I don't know, lately I just find it's hard to catch my breath. It has just been the world, everything has just been so crazy and so busy and so unreal. So like I said, I do want to hear what's on your mind. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be investment related, because a lot of people say, you know, I ran into somebody, I was at Town of Brookhaven's, I'm on the board of the Town of Brookhaven Women's Services, and we had a conference where we had nominated and then eventually honored women from different categories. So whether they were in the police enforcement division, or they were religion or business or medical. So it was really neat. And I met somebody, and he's like, oh, you know, I think I'm going to call in on Friday. So if you're out there, Alex, you said you were calling in, so let's see what happens. But he said, I'm not really sure. You know, most people say, like, I don't know what I want to ask. Like, what would be the question that I ask? Listen, there's a lot of questions, and don't be nervous. This is, you know, it sounds scarier than it is, but it's all good. But, you know, and of course, you know, if you are a client and come in for your meetings with me, we really do discuss many different things. You know, there's not just one topic that we talk about, and we go over the accounts, and, you know, we talk about any changes that need to happen. Maybe we review your financial plan. But, you know, we're talking about a lot of different things, of course, you know. And, you know, let's face it, there's just so much going on locally right now, nationally, and in the world. And people want to know how things are going to affect them. You know, what's the most latest thing, not that this would directly affect you, but the whole debacle with Trump and Biden and just, all of the plethora of things. But as I always say, I'm here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money. So give me a call, 631-451-1039. Let's talk. So this week was pretty unreal. Some of the stories, I guess we'll talk about the life and times of a financial advisor and what happens. So today, I guess we'll start from today and we'll kind of go backwards. So today I had gotten to the office, and there were several calls, one overnight, one early in the morning, about a client looking to get some money from their account. All right, that's cool. That's not unusual, although it is something that is a rule in the financial industry that you cannot leave buy or sell orders on our machine. If you call your financial advisor or call me, you always hear that, and that is true, because again, we got to talk to you. There may be reasons why you should take the money out, or if you need to withhold taxes. Sometimes it's just not a cut and dry request. There's questions that we need to ask. So the client called, and I got everything ready, got everything set up, and before I did the actual withdrawal, I gave him a call, and I said, all right, so we'll take care of this. And no, I don't really need it anymore. So I never got the call to say he didn't need it. So thank God I called him, because I would have done it, and then it would have been an issue. So, but the interesting thing, this person had indicated that they were online, and this is a cautionary tale for everybody, I guess, online doing something, with their bank or whatever the case may be, and it looked like they got hacked into, and there was somebody on the line or on the computer telling him that if he did not send money to this person, sounds familiar, right? That they would, I don't know, they would do something. I don't know. He said something with regard to crypto, and I really didn't understand the whole thing. But the good news is that he was able to rectify the situation. But I guess the cautionary tale for all of you would be, just be careful. If things look too good to be true, they probably are. If you get an email that looks weird, just don't open it. One little rule of thumb, and we've been getting a lot in our office lately, and I'm not really quite sure why, but it's kind of company-wide, and actually, I don't know, I guess people have a lot of time on their hands, but if you can kind of see if an email looks a little bit suspicious, and they do a great job. These people hone their skills very well. Let's just say, I'm just going to pick on any bank. Let's say Chase is sending you something and you have banking with Chase. If you go into the actual top of the email and you click on their email address, sometimes they'll spell Chase, if you look at it very quickly, it'll look like it says Chase, but they'll have 2 E's on the end, which clearly will tell you that is not a good email, and it's probably predatory. So just delete it and move on. Another rule of thumb is, if you happen to get something like that from Social Security, your bank, from a financial institution, it's always best to go ahead and call before you do anything, just to make sure. We all get nervous, especially when we get those IRS letters or IRS emails. It's nerve-wracking, because nobody wants to get themselves in a position to have to deal with the IRS ever. So, but typically the IRS will never email you. They don't. They will send you letters, hard copy. So again, it's just really making sure that you protect yourself and don't make stupid choices, because again, doing something knee-jerk, especially with that type of thing, with the they call it hacking, or phishing. I guess phishing would be another word for it, that they're trying to, they'll just send out a bunch of emails to a bunch of people to just see if somebody's going to take the bait, hence the phishing, right? Take the bait and get them what they want, whether they're looking for gift cards, or looking you to wire them money, or send them some type of something that they're looking for at this point. We've heard a lot of different stories with that. So I guess the bottom line, just be careful. Okay, in the life and times. So here's another story that had come in this week. So I would start with, I guess the most important thing is make sure you meet with your financial advisor. If you work with one, or if you work with me, don't let it be a long time that you meet with me or anyone, because obviously things change in your situation, and sometimes we don't know what those changes are. So whether you got married or got divorced or lost your job or maybe you moved, there's different things. So that from time to time I'll get notices in my office that the fund company or the brokerage company, they can't find my client. Like they're sending them statements and they're being bounced back. And sometimes we have an issue finding you also, because if you don't contact us, we really don't know that you moved. And it's important obviously to get your statements, but we're in tax time right now, and it's important to get those tax documents because a lot of people will go to their accountants and not realize that they're missing a bunch of things, and then it becomes a big nightmare because they do their taxes, they complete their taxes, and they think they're getting a refund, and then they realize, oh wow, I forgot a bunch of tax documents. So making sure you update your advisor, your investments, it's really important thing. It's not a big deal. It's not a big call, or not a big, it doesn't take a lot of time. Give a call, send an email, whatever the case may be. So just make sure you do that. So we're running into the break in a few minutes, but I will tell you a story that has transpired that I can save you from the hassles, and it's just about communication. So you are listening to The Financial Chick, and I am Denise Nostrom. My company is Diversified Financial Solutions. I help you look for financial solutions when you feel like there are none. So call me at the office, or you can call me today at the studio at 631-451-1039, and I can answer your questions. So stay tuned after the break, and I hope to get some calls in. Take care. No one's calling.
I know, I saw.
These people, not nice. So everybody's like, am I surprised? Everybody's apathetic. Nobody really wants to do anything these days, right? So, but of course they have questions. So they, like I said, they lock me down at the restaurants, at the mall.
you gotta just say you're gonna give something away.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. We'll have to incorporate that maybe.
Just say you're giving away a conversation with yourself at the end of it.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, it's Friday, my friends. So none of you are going to call, huh? I got a few people on here. I see that. No questions. Nothing to say. Nothing going on. Well, I could talk really all day long. So I will get it going. But I hope you're all doing well. Got a lot going on now with holidays coming in, and gosh, I didn't even talk about it. Spring. It's been so weird these past couple of Fridays, so I haven't really been live. And if I have been, 60 seconds. We're going to go back on the air live. And we just had a plane land, so we got some people, got some activity here in the airport, which is exciting.
30 seconds.
All right, thank you. And it's Friday, so that's all that matters. Hope you have some good plans this weekend. I'm going to a freestyle concert tomorrow night, and I can't wait. Welcome back. This is Denise Nostrom, the Financial Chick. My company is in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and I'm here to help you navigate all of those changes. But today, you don't have to wait till Monday to call me at the office. You can call me right now. You can call me at 631-451-1039 here at the studio with any questions you may have. And again, it doesn't have to be financial. If you want to talk about what's happening in Washington or what my views are on different things, listen, if you know me, you know that we could talk about anything. So call in 631-451-1039. But before the break, I was talking about the life and times of a financial advisor and what happens and the importance of keeping your financial advisor up to date. So I had some clients that hadn't come in for a while, and they came in. They do this to me. They I see them every 2 to 3 years. So we call them, and they, I know everybody's busy, but in this case, it was really kind of a bad situation. So these are clients that are putting away money in their IRAs and Roth IRA accounts every year. And, IRAs and Roth IRAs, there's different rules and regulations, whether you can do it, you can't do it, whether you get deductions or whatever the case may be. So they were putting money away on a monthly basis, and they came in and they had prepared their taxes, and I took a look at their taxes. I told them to bring it in, in with them, which is always a good matter, of course, with anything, because the tax situations, something I may see that could help you save on some taxes, or in this case, protect you from having any type of penalties or any other bad things happen. So what had occurred was the clients were putting into Roth IRAs, which is a great thing. I'm a big fan. If you've listened to the show, I think everyone should have a Roth, as long as you're working. You got to be working. But in their case, they had got a lot of big increases at their jobs, which is great. They were making a whole lot more money. But the Roth IRA has they have a rule that says that once you make over a certain amount of money, you can no longer put into that Roth IRA. And if you don't take the money out of the Roth IRA within the tax year, you get a 6% penalty of anything that you put in up and above of what you were allowed to. So for example, last year, this individual did $6,000, and they weren't allowed to. And we had them on a systematic, so they were already putting money away for this year. And look, the way it looks like is they probably would be ineligible to do it this year as well. So we have up until tax time, April 18th this year, to get that money from last year out without having any hiccups or any penalties from the government. So the importance of letting your financial advisor know changes in your life is just that. So, we're here to help you obviously earn money, make money, and grow your money and get you set for retirement. But, we need all the information. I always say good information in, good information out. So if I don't have all the information at my avail, it's hard for me to give you good recommendations. So that is really, really an important thing. So I ran across something today which I thought was really, really interesting. And we all remember the year 2008 in the stock market. And if you don't, maybe you're too young, or maybe you just wiped it out of your brain. 2008, 2009 was just not so pretty. It was actually really, really terrible. It was a convergence of a lot of different things. The real estate market had built up extremely a lot. The houses were so inflated in a price standpoint, and people were borrowing money like it was an ATM machine, and basically everything just kind of fell out. It wasn't a good situation. So there was this. I read this article today with it's a gentleman, William Robbins, and he's an equity portfolio manager at American Funds, and he has over 30 years of experience. And he talked about 10 investing lessons from 2008 that apply today. What's very interesting is that the market, the world. I mean, we constantly have events that happen, and then we don't learn, and then they happen again. So housing crisis. Not saying there's going to be a housing crisis, but we've got houses that have moved up quite a lot in a lot of different areas. New York, Florida. A lot of different things have happened, and because we've had very low interest rates with mortgages, which that has changed. But so let's jump into those 10 investing lessons from 2008 that apply today. So this is really interesting as far as some wisdom to learn from the crisis. When the weathermen pack umbrellas, the forecast is for rain. Bank treasurers started hoarding liquidity, assets that easily are converted to cash, in mid-2007 when liquidity was not on anyone's radar screen. So it should have been a clear warning sign. So again, when you see that, if you look at these different trends, and that's why you want to work with a financial advisor like myself, because we do see these trends and we can kind of gear you or kind of put you into places that you need to be, as opposed to staying in place that you shouldn't stay. So again, if we see it's raining, you bring an umbrella. Like it's just one of those types of things. So that was one piece of wisdom. Liquidity is a coward, regardless of balance sheet strength or franchise value. If liquidity evaporates, which it had tended to do at the first sign of trouble, perception of weakness becomes reality. Now that was the big deal with that Silicon Valley Bank. There was the perception of, well, it wasn't a perception, that they basically didn't have the liquidity for people taking the money out of the bank. So a lot of technology companies needed the money out of the bank, and the rumor mill had it that they didn't have the backing for those withdrawals, and that just became infectious, and people said, man, if we see weakness, we're getting the heck out of there, and that's exactly what they did. So from a liquidity standpoint, that is an issue with a lot of banks right now. All right, number 3, the long-term outlook only matters if you can make it to the long term. The 2007-2008 cycle progressed from one concern about earnings to concern about capital to concern about liquidity. Not until we reverse the cycle and return to a focus on earnings do I expect the cycle to end, and by then many institutions may no longer be with us. Now again, we're in that same thing. I was telling clients that I met yesterday that we have times of expansion and then we have times of contraction. This is times of contraction. When your interest rates go up so much, it's not you don't have that free flow of liquidity and money. So people are paying more for credit cards, paying more for mortgages, paying more for cars. You're not going to have the cash in the bank that you had during the pandemic or when rates were really, really low. So you have to really tamp down and clamp down and really take an overall look of your situation, because it's really, really important. Okay, there's no silver bullet. Selling into every rally on government fixes would have been the right call during the early stages of the global financial crisis. Drastic events require drastic measures. Anything less would be a disappointment. Again, if you don't get it out early, I would say get out early, you're probably too late. Avoid the most aggressive companies. That's an important thing right now. You want to kind of err more on the conservative side. Bad news is bad news. If a company needs capital and or has to cut the dividend, consider getting out of the way, even if it looks like the company has a really good price, like if the stock seems priced well. You got to go deeper. You have to do your research. Again, bad news is bad news. Don't try to navigate uncharted waters. When circumstances change so drastically that even an experienced investment analyst has a hard time digesting events, it's best to walk away. And that's what I've been telling clients that are coming in. We're not really making a lot of adjustments right now. We're not doing rebalancing because there's no track. We really don't know where we're going from here. They're not giving us any information as to what's happening. Things are very murky. The waters are murky. Good loans are made in bad times and bad loans are made in good times. That is such a really, really important thing. Again, right now is probably one of your best times to be in the market or get in the market. A lot of stuff is shooken out. It's really interesting how we always have that rear view mirror approach. Trust your instincts and act. Again, don't get paralyzed. You still have to save for retirement. This will not last forever. But then most importantly, what you have to do right now is take care of yourself, sleep, exercise, and eat a healthy diet. It's important to maintain a constructive attitude. We owe it to ourselves, our families, and each other to stay healthy, because only the strong will survive. So I want to thank you for listening. I'm sad that you guys didn't call in today, but we'll see. Maybe this phone in Friday is not all it's cracked up to be, but we'll evaluate and see what's going on. Thanks for tuning in. Be careful out there tomorrow with the rain, but more so it's April Fool's Day, and we got a lot going on. Palm Sunday, Passover. Enjoy. Remember, let's do better and be better. I'll see you next Friday. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad this week is over. It was a pretty trying week. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to being with you again next Friday. Take care.